What's up with it, y'all? We back again.
Yes, we are back, and what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about part 2 from our last video,
Yes.
The empty promises of this organization.
Yes, and people putting their lives on hold for these empty promises.
All for what?
Nothing.
For nothing. Now, a common thing in this organization you hear that people put on hold is this whole idea of, married couples that don't have kids. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people that don't have kids.
There is.
But the reasoning in this organization is a little bit different why some people don't have kids. Why would that be?
So the whole reason that a lot of people don't have kids in this organization is because they don't want to have kids in this system of things. So they said this world is just far too awful that they cannot imagine raising kids in this cruel, terrible environment.
Yep.
So they'd rather put it off and wait for this new system to come to then have kids on a paradise earth.
You don't hear that at all, except for there's probably a couple other religions that are not really heard of that talk like that, but mostly Jehovah's Witnesses have this idea. So for those that don't know, Jehovah's Witnesses have this illusion that it's going to be two separate worlds. So it's the world we're in now. God is going to come and destroy everybody that's not Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes.
And then make a new world for only Jehovah's Witnesses where everybody going to live forever.
And it's a paradise earth.
Yep.
So that's where the 144,000 doctrine comes from, where only 144,000 people go to heaven. Because a lot of religions believe that, once you pass on, you just go to heaven or hell. But this one is, no, you're sleeping. Only 144,000 people go to heaven to reign with Jesus. And the rest of the people who have been obedient to God, they get to live on a paradise earth that's like this one, but way better in how God originally intended for life to be. Yeah.
And I guess certain people that died before they could become a Jehovah's Witness, some might get forgiven, some might not. It's a little tricky with the teaching. But they going to wake up on this new earth. And all the Jehovah's Witnesses are going to teach them how to be Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yep.
And then if they don't do it, 1,000 years after this paradise, Satan going to get let out this abyss. Again. And then he going to tempt everybody. Again. And then these people are left. So this where a lot of people say, we're going to wait till then to have kids. Because they believe that there's going to be this new world that's about to pop up. And
you know what's so sad about that is that people rightfully make that decision. Like, people can absolutely want to have a family and want to have children, and they decide not to do it so that they can have time that is better spent, is what they say. It's better spent serving Jehovah. So making enough time to go out and service. That's what a lot of people's reasoning is, so that they can further give themselves to Jehovah. Now, what if they wake up later on at the point where, like, the woman can't have kids anymore?
And 50s and 60s.
Yes, and then you realize, like, wow, you spent all of your years doing that just for you not to be in the organization anymore, and now you literally have nothing to show for it because you decided not to even have a family, and that's something that you might have really wanted.
And I'm sure it might be people in the comments that have been through that. There's so many regrets to have with that, but that's one major one right there. No kids. And
it's all contingent on the fact that they're promised this paradise earth.
Empty promise.
Okay, so another big thing, before you even decide to have kids or anything, there's other people who decide, listen, I'm just going to stay single. And I'm not going to get married. I'm not going to involve myself with another person so that I can greater serve God.
And this is the kicker. Single as a Jehovah's Witness is not single as a normal person. So it's not like in real life you could be single and go on dates or be texting somebody that you're interested in or, be bumping cheeks. Normal human stuff. Jehovah's Witness, no, none of that.
No, 80-year-old virgin.
Like, you got people that don't get to do, like, some people break the rules and get in trouble, but for the most part, some of these people are so brainwashed where it's like, oh, I'm not even going to entertain my hormones to do normal things. So these people will go their whole life and say, I'll find a spouse in this new system, But in this system,
Yeah.
I'm going to focus on serving Jehovah.
I feel like at that point they need to just become monks, because at least monks are like highly spiritual, and they don't do any of that stuff either. Or like, go be a nun. Don't nuns do the same thing?
No, no, they don't. You know what they say about? They know what they say about nuns. They ain't
The
with
same
none
thing
of,
they say about priests.
yeah, they ain't with none of the right rules.
His face.
No,
People are like, no.
People in the comments like, no, we hear about what going on in them Catholic schools and all that.
Nuns and priests.
Yeah,
bumping
but
cheeks.
for real. But this single witnesses, they are some. Most of them sneak and break the rules, but they are some that are so brainwashed that they're just goody two shoes.
Yeah.
And go their whole life just no boyfriend, girlfriend, no husband,
texting,
wife,
nothing. And I feel like a lot of them feel like, okay, the more restrictions that I put on myself, the better I am and the more loyal that I am to Jehovah. Like, I really feel like that's their thought process.
Yeah.
But a lot of us know like a lot of older women who just decided not to ever entertain men at all.
We all had them at each congregation because it was more sisters than
and
brothers.
It was always a thing, like, to say like, oh, I don't want to end up like sister so and so. It was a thing, like,
it is, because you see them and they seem all happy, but it's like some people
that they're
like, man, that is not the life to live. You don't want to be in your 60s and never had kids or a husband or a boyfriend or nothing all this time.
And some people might, but don't do it just because of this religion,
right?
You know,
because you saving it for this imaginary world that's about to pop up out of nowhere. They've been supposed to pop up for since the 1800s.
Literally.
Yeah. Moving on to the next empty promise about this whole called new system. People turn down jobs. People turn down careers.
Yes.
People turn down hobbies.
Their talents.
People turn down talent. So we'll kind of go through each one. So jobs, you can have a good job offered to you.
Yep.
But say your meeting, like Jehovah's Witnesses have 2 meetings during the week. Usually it's a weekend one, like Sunday, some people Saturday, and then you have a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday. So for example, the hall I was at had Thursday and Sunday.
Okay.
I lose my job, right? And I get this job offer that's going to have benefits. It's going to pay good.
It's a great job.
It's a great job. But the only thing is, I'm not going to get off work until 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. on Thursday. And now I'm not going to be able to go to the Kingdom Hall. Well, I'm proudly not going to take the job.
Yep. And you do that with, like...
With zeal.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to applaud you. I can make it on Sunday because I'm off work on Sundays. Yep. But no, because that's going to that's going to weaken my relationship with Jehovah.
I distinctly remember there being a video that they had played, I think at a convention, that was about that. It was like a man who was like struggling for his family and didn't have like enough money or something, and then he got offered this job. I can't remember it exactly.
I remember that.
Do you know which one I'm talking about? It was showed at a convention.
Yeah.
But then he got offered this job, and he went and talked about it with one of the brothers, and they basically were telling him, you know, you need to pray about it because you're going to be missing these meetings, and you really want to make the right decision because you don't want to weaken your relationship and your faith in God and all this stuff. So at the end, the brother in the video ends up not taking the job, and he is completely applauded for it. And I think one of the last scenes is him in the Kingdom Hall, and the talk of that night was kind of talking about that, like where the devil can come in and like weaken your relationship. And he was just sitting there like, I am so happy that I chose not to take this job. Like it was just something so goofy.
It's cringy, but that's a major thing. There were a lot of people in my congregations. It was one middle-aged brother. I won't say the specific job, but there were other jobs to get, but he had a very simple minimum wage job that didn't pay much, and he was just cool with it. And it was like, you can pick another job, even if it does affect you coming to the hall or something. But no, you don't hear people in church worrying about their careers.
No, and that's another thing is like once you get into a job, you can always talk and kind of fix your schedule, you know, especially after some time. Sometimes it's just a small sacrifice for a moment, and then it can change, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
But like if you are in the hole and you have no money, no nothing, and you have a whole family to take care of, and you are making decisions based on that, it's just crazy to think about, you know, instead of taking something that would have clearly benefited the family.
Even if it's just like you said, you just need something for a couple months just to get back on your feet. All right, you might have to miss some meetings for the next month or two, and then you can come right back. But that's frowned upon. No, you need to turn that down. You need to dig yourself even deeper into that hole until Jehovah gives you something else.
No, you know what that just reminded me of?
What?
Is also people asking for time off during convention or assembly.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I totally forgot about that until we were talking about it.
Yeah, so tell them about that.
Okay, so a lot of times there was circuit assemblies, district assemblies, and then
it was district
conventions. Sorry. Yeah. So circuit assemblies and then district conventions. But the circuit assemblies would be like what, twice a year or something?
Yeah, sometimes twice.
2 or 3 times a year, something like that. But anyway, some people had to request off in order to be able to go to these circuit assemblies or district conventions, because most of the times they were all weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, from morning to evening, like 5 p.m.
Yep.
So people had to request off of work to be able to attend these, and it was always talked about right before that if you were not able to request off, they basically would tell you to leave the job.
Yep.
Like
quit.
Yeah, quit the job because Jehovah will bless you later with a better job. That's literally what they would say.
Dang, I forgot all about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Yep. So many people lost jobs. They would even show videos on people losing their jobs. You've been at this job for years. I wonder if that
video that I was talking about was actually about that.
No, I feel like it was that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Or it was probably multiple videos because they gotta get this in your head.
There was multiple videos that talked about that, but the priority is always to put the governing body. It's really they say Jehovah, but we say the governing body first and foremost as top priority in your life. So you are going to say no to everything else in order to be able to attend these.
You speaking facts. It comes before your family. It comes before being able to eat. Keep a roof over your head. You put this organization first.
Yep.
And afterwards you get your blessings. So-called.
More, again, empty promises.
Empty promises.
Okay, so something that I find very sad within the organization is how many people are so talented and they basically get told to put their talents up on a shelf and forget about them.
And let them collect dust. So many things. People, we all know people that can sing real good.
Oh, in the Kingdom Hall, there was always somebody that could just sing. Like, they could just sing. But they tell you to use those talents instead for Jehovah. So,
sing for Jehovah.
Yes.
Inside this Kingdom Hall. You might want to just go down. You don't even have to want to be a big time celebrity. You might just want to go down to a bar on the weekends and sing because you love to sing. None of that. You don't do that. That's worldly thinking and being a part of the world.
Worldly activities. And you have these people that are trying to give you praise for a God-given talent when really that praise should be going to God. Like, that's how they word everything to manipulate you. That, okay, all these talents that you have, it's not for you to get anything. It's for God. So you need to use it for God. So even if you wanted to be like an actress or something like that, that's heavily frowned upon, okay?
None of that.
To be in like the media. And somebody has commented before about that one couple, her name is Christy, and then she has a husband named Desmond, but they're like big TikTokers, but they're like a well-known like Jehovah's Witness family. And you know, she gets paid through TikTok, so she's always doing like random sponsorships and things like that and flying around everywhere, you know, because that's how they get paid. And I'm sure that they get judged super heavily. Within their immediate congregation. Oh my gosh. I feel like they're gonna end up pushing them out because that's too much to deal with, because you know all the special need talks and stuff are gonna be about you. Like as soon as they start saying stuff about social media and stuff, everybody's gonna be looking at you and that'd be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's how they kind of move. They want you to waste all your talents. And we talked about before the amount of celebrities and singers and rappers and actors that grew up Jehovah's Witnesses and decided to be disobedient and pursue these careers, and millions of us are able to appreciate them now because they didn't listen.
Yeah, absolutely. And they tell you instead, like if your dream is to aspire and be an actress, they're like, okay, well, you know, you could use those talents for Jehovah, so why don't you start aspiring to go to Bethel, and then you can work in their media department, and then you can be on the little videos that we have. Like,
they water it down like it's such a even trade. Like instead of being on the new Netflix movie. You can be on the next broadcast.
Yes,
and it's
you're
like,
not going to get paid for it.
Nothing.
But you will in spirituality.
And then there's no guarantee that you are going to go to Bethel and be in videos.
No.
Out of millions of people, they might...
That also want to do that.
Yeah, they might stick a couple people here and there, and the only people that's going to see it is the people back at your congregation and go, look, that's so-and-so.
Yeah, but that's how they kind of like hang things in front of you to try to go for more within the organization. And to keep aspiring for more within that. And it's kind of still being able to do your talents, but not really.
It's like watering down your talents. It's not so much just that, but you are getting nothing in return. Because you're not able, not even talking just money wise, but you being able to go to a bar or whatever it is and sing your song is exactly what you want to do.
And it's exactly how you want to sing it. Like if it's a song that you wrote.
Right, you could sing it. And there's nobody at this place telling you that you can't do it the way that you enjoy doing it. But this organization will strip that away from you and put guidelines on what you're able to do with your talent. So it's not like you actually pursuing what you like to do. Yes,
you might want to be singing about a breakup that you had or something, and you're not going to be able to sing about that in the organization, you know?
No. You don't. We don't tell people about the bad things that go in this organization. So that divorce, when your husband did such and such, that's not supposed to leave that judicial committee.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying.
Ain't it though? So wrapping all of that up, so many things people turn down: not having kids, not getting married, not pursuing a career or talents.
Yes.
What is something that they would do to keep themselves occupied instead? Because that's a lot to give up on a day-to-day basis. So what are they gonna do then?
It is a lot to give up. But a lot of people go and serve where the need is greater.
So wait, explain for those that don't know, serving where the need is greater. What exactly does that mean as a Jehovah's Witness?
It can mean different things. Like now that I'm thinking about it, because you can go and just serve at a different kingdom hall and learn like a different language or something like that. And that can be looked at as like serving where the need is greater. But to do it officially, I'm pretty sure you have to pioneer first, and then you get accepted into school, like SKE school, which is School for Kingdom Evangelizers. And once you get accepted into that, you go to school, which is the governing body's school.
Yeah, it's not like a real college or nothing like that.
No, and then once you're done with school, you get given an assignment of where to go. And a lot of people want to go somewhere fancy, like a different country. They want to go somewhere in Europe or like South America or Australia, somewhere fun.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will get a random assignment and end up in freaking Utah.
Like somewhere where it's like an Amish looking type of community or something. And the bad part about it, you cannot complain about that. You have to, because Jehovah selected you to go to this place, even though you had dreams of going somewhere completely different.
Yes, it is your blessing, and that is how you're serving, because that's where the need is greater. And you could just end up at a kingdom hall that might need help in their eyes, like they're not, they don't have enough time or something going on at that kingdom hall.
Or they just,
they need someone
they
fresh.
Basically, they need the weaker areas, or I shouldn't say weaker,
but
the more strong-minded areas of a community that are not being brainwashed as easily.
Yes.
So they'll send more people out there to try to recruit.
Yes, and these are well-trained people who are in the organization. So they went through extensive schooling within the organization, because they've had to go to Pioneer School and they had to go to the Kingdom Evangelizing School.
And they get special books and special types of training in these so-called schools. It's not like this is a school that's going to benefit you outside of this organization. No. But this is like the super brainwash you and to have you really indoctrinated to know things that the average witness may not understand.
Yes. So then you are there to serve and be like a real people of encouragement to that kingdom hall.
Yep. And it usually comes with the encouragement is the sacrifices you, like we said, the sacrifices you gave. Oh, this person gave up even getting married to come serve at our kingdom hall, to go and preach. Oh, we're so encouraged. This person don't even have no kids.
Right.
So it comes off as a witness as this is an encouraging thing, but in real life it's like you gave up all of that.
And you get so much respect and so many like applauds for serving in this type of school and like going to these assignments. But it can literally be such a huge culture shock to you, because you could be somebody like us. We love warm weather. We don't like being in cold weather.
Nope.
And if we were to go through a school like that and be given an assignment and it's somewhere cold, it could be freaking Alaska. It doesn't matter.
We gotta be happy.
Yes, you cannot complain about it. And then we have to live in Alaska in the freezing cold.
Yeah.
And we hate every day of our lives, but we can't complain about it.
Yeah, we have to feel guilty about not liking it.
Yep. And what's really sad about all of this is that not only do they put these aspects of their lives on hold, and that's the only time they're really thinking about the future, but they also put on hold any kind of like retirement or anything. They're not even thinking about it.
No.
Because a lot of these people have very simple jobs, because you have to be able to move around places. So you're not going to have like a job that you've been at for 10 plus years.
Right.
That's not going to be you know, because you have to be malleable. Okay.
Yep.
You have to be flexible and be able to just kind of rock with anything and live in these small places.
Yep.
And that's just how you live. So you're not thinking about retirement. You're not thinking about saving for your future, because in your mind, your future is going to be paradise earth, and Jehovah is going to take care of you.
Any day now. That's the teaching.
Yeah.
So this is not a long-term paradise. It might happen tomorrow to where everything comes to an end. So every day you're not taking life that serious to where you need to have a future.
Yeah, that's the only thing you do prepare for is like Armageddon, because every Kingdom Hall, like, they made you make a go bag.
Yeah.
With like food in it, and sometimes whatever medicine that you needed, and water.
Yeah.
Every family had one. Like, it was a thing to do during your family worship night or whatever.
It is. And thinking it was the main thing behind this is the whole government is coming to attack Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yep.
Like, they coming is out of all the problems in the world.
Yep.
They are coming and searching for Jehovah's Witnesses. They kicking in your door with weapons and going to take you to jail and torture you. So this is what they are believing. Like, all right, well, any day now that's about to happen. So I don't need to worry about retirement. There are some, that's not saying that all witnesses just end up with nothing. Some
realize.
Yeah, some realize they need to have some type of 401k or Roth IRA.
Yeah, something.
But a lot of witnesses just live day to day, and they don't have a long time plan. You're not encouraged to make no type of investments in anything.
And the hypocrisy about that.
The hypocrisy is you don't need to make no investments. You don't need to worry about the future. But somehow everything you do helps the organization's investments.
Yes.
And future.
Everything.
What's some of them?
First, this is what always got me, is that they get free buildings built for them.
Who else gets that? Think of this. You want to build a religious building, right? You have to hire contractors. Mm-hmm. You have to hire your plumbers, your electricians, people to do the roof, people to do the landscape. You have to hire people for this. Not in this organization, because you brainwash your people that you have to do this for Jehovah.
Yes.
It's even to the point where if a congregation needs something done at a hall, you got to borrow the money from the leaders of this organization, and you got to pay it back.
Yeah, I never even knew that, but I do remember whenever things would go wrong and we would be going through improvements for our Kingdom Halls or whatever, on the weekends they would ask people to come and volunteer to help with the improvements, and we would be out there planting, gardening, cutting. None of us knew how to do it, but there was always somebody there who did know how to do it, who could just instruct us on how to garden it, how to do the insulation inside, like all of this stuff. They just would have the materials, but all the labor is free.
Free labor.
It's volunteered labor.
I remember that, and they guilt trip you for not wanting to reach out and do these things, like joining. I don't know what it's called now, but back then it was the RBC, the Regional Building Committee or something like that, and you would have to sign up and get assigned. I did like roofing, and it's all day. The whole day out there roofing. How much you think it costs to do a roof on not just a house but a building?
Yep, because a house it's $10,000-$20,000,
and they getting tax write-offs for all of this stuff. So
all of it.
And then the kicker on this, they sell it. They sell it.
You made the improvement just so they could sell it, so that they could pay for all of their suings that they receive, all the lawsuits that they have all over the freaking world.
And they got free labor. They are cutting the cost by having a bunch of people brainwashed to do all the work for them, state to state, city from city, country to country, continent to continent.
Yes.
People all around the world are giving them free labor.
Right. And the thing about it is, like, Jehovah's Witnesses as a whole, they keep their kingdom halls and stuff in really good condition.
Yep.
Because you clean the kingdom hall is broken up into service groups, and every service group, like every week of the month or whatever, each service group has a cleaning day.
Yep.
So they clean the kingdom hall very regularly, and they do like normal maintenance cleanup, but then they do a deep clean too, you know?
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that.
It's maintained really well.
Yep, for free. You're not hiring no maids and no cleaners. These people come in and do it. And matter of fact, they pay you to clean up your facility because they got to come in and give their contributions and clean. So we are paying to work for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's such a messed up organization, but man, are they a good business. Like, I will always say that. Like, kudos to them, because they really found every loophole on how to get free work.
Because that's all it is. And even think this, any day now, the end of the world is coming. Let's sell what we got here in Brooklyn. This I don't know if it's billions, it might be, but I'll just say multi-millions. A lot of money. Yeah. We're going to sell it, and we're going to build a whole new one out in the forest.
Updated.
More updated. The technology is up to date. Why would you do that if the world is about to end?
And the thing is, they made sure to go out there because the land was probably cheaper over there. And then they put solar panels on there. Like, it's like eco-friendly. Solar panels in a lot of places are tax write-offs, especially for businesses. So they probably got a tax write-off for that. And they had thousands of workers there and ready to help them build the whole facility. They purposely ask, like, talented people to come into Bethel. Like, if you have a trade or something, you are looked at as more if you have a trade, you are looked at as more valuable to Bethel. But they tell you not to have certain trades. Yeah,
not to go after that stuff in the real world. Why would you focus on this trade that might take you away from the kingdom hall?
Yeah.
But we can also use you for this trade long as it's for us.
They only use it for certain, like, I remember whenever they were asking for lawyers to come to Bethel, but any normal person who would want to go to school to be a lawyer, they would discourage them to go be a lawyer. Exactly. They only really encourage, like, the trades, like the electrician, construction work, things that were valuable and beneficial to the organization. Until
they realize they need lawyers now. Now, all of a sudden, we need lawyers. Not saying go to school to be a lawyer.
But if you already are one.
Yeah, if we brainwashed you after you've been in law school and became a witness, why don't you come over here and give us some help? It's so many things they invest in this long time. A lot of their portfolios, and they invest in stocks, long-term stocks. This is not stuff for the next year or so. This is stuff way down the line. Yep. So how ironic, you shouldn't worry about anything now because you're going to get your blessings later. Right. But help us now so we can receive our pay in full today.
Yeah. And it's wild because I feel like they only tell certain people that. And I remember somebody in our comments saying that too. Like, it's crazy the people that they say can have businesses and who cannot. Because a lot of times they'll discourage minority people from having businesses. Yep. But if a random white brother wants to have a business, it's like no discouragement happens there. They're allowed to have business, save for retirement, have a big old house, and they're not getting looked at sideways because to them, they're still taking care of what needs to be taken care of because they're an elder. So just because they have a title of an elder, now they can also have assets. And then more assets comes into the organization. It's a trick. Yeah. It's a dirty game, but I think that kind of covers the majority of the empty promises in this organization. I'm sure y'all got even more. What are some empty promises you think they might drop? Yes, please drop them in the comments. Let us know if these kinds of things have affected any of you or what other empty promises the organization has made. Yeah, we want to know. But remember, this was a 3-part video. The first one we dropped. This is the second one on empty promises. And the next one will be the trauma of getting away from this stuff. Everything that comes with just leaving, because you can't just up and leave with no type of consequences or no type of, emotional damage. So that's emotional damage. It's gonna happen. But what they gotta do? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on our new Instagram page at Awaken Truths IG.
And we'll catch y'all on the next video on part 3. Peace.